This is the Doctor continuing the Battle Brothers playthrough. We're about to kill some Alps, so of course the strategy is straightforward. Make all your guys naked, equip spears, swords, daggers, although swords and spears are better for accuracy. War brands, although I think it's only good on Berserk guys. War scythes, if you have them, which we don't. We only have one character with Berserk, which is actually super alarming. Oh, this character. We have two characters with Berserk. And I split them up. Kind of alarming, actually. Depends on how many Alps there are. If there's 6, we win. If there's 8, probably win. If there's 10, I think I run. Like, the scaling is... The difference between 10 and 8 is so huge. In any event, it's about nighttime. We're just going to camp here. The Alps will show up. We'll murder them. Collect our money. I love this new Swordmaster we got. Then we'll head up to Cobmont, whatever that place is called, and make some more money. 8 is not going to be easy, but I think we win. So the way I fight these guys is, I saw a nice video by a guy who splits up his group into 2, which to me makes perfect sense. One group will probably be just killing the shadows, and the other group can advance on the Alps. So, you want to always advance your characters together in a group. And we have some confident guys. Very good. So, before we do anything, let's just wait here. We might use some dogs, so they cut into our profit margin. See, I think that makes sense to me. Good. Let's see how that group does. But 3 is even enough. That's not a nightmare, right? The other thing I don't like about this fight is it's honestly a little hard to see. Like, it's not clear to me that this is actually not an Alp nightmare thing. You have to hover over it. So I don't like the fact that visually this fight is kind of very difficult to tell. Let's attack with you. We're gonna wait. Alright. This group, we should be able to start moving. Alright. You're probably gonna AoE there. Ew, without the sword mastery, the fatigue cost is so high. Swordmaster doing work here. We might start getting ourselves up on elevation, is my thought. Or we start moving everyone. That actually perhaps makes more sense. Your turn is done. We gotta do these moves very carefully, though. So you can't move. They're gonna shadow up all this next turn. The best formation, I think, is a hexagonal square, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a hex like that. So we have to think about that as we're doing this. You should be able to kill that, so. Well, we're not missing. That helps. Alright, so I don't even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There seems to be 3 Alps up there. That seems like where we should be headed. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't miss this. We're gonna start missing next turn, aren't we? Turn done. we gotta think about getting ourselves into that hexagonal square. This fight is very unforgiving of mistakes. I think we're gonna have to think about it next turn. This turn, stay put. Move you up like that. That's okay. Why is there only one? What? Is there something about the mechanic I don't understand? Is it that they can only spawn one shadow if they spawn a new one of these miasma things? Is that how it works? Could be. 87. Ugh, we're in trouble. The pikeman has berserk, so we're gonna let the pikeman stare. Not having berserk is very, very bad. Teams of 3 can also do good work here. But we gotta watch out not to get our guys too isolated. Teams of 6 and teams of 3 seem to be the optimal setup. That's not good. Probably gonna take a hit there, but what are you gonna do? Yep, I wanted to do that. That way I can start thinking about setting up my... Okay. Your turn is done. Well, you two are isolated a little, which is definitely not good. If they spam a whole mess of shadows here, that will be very, very bad. This might be a time for doggy. I don't like to use dogs because they eat into the profit that you have, but thinking we do it. Come. Okay, let's move. Done. Well, I don't want to leave the hill. I think my formation it has some problems right now. Also that elf down there, but he's kind of by himself. I want to hit towards like a big cluster. Oh well. May not be super realistic. I can move these two characters up some more. You might get isolated though. That's too risky. Not gonna risk it. Okay, I think I learned something new. If they spawn a new cloud, they can only spawn one shadow. It's good to know. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Thank you, puppy. That was 15 damage? Damn. A lot of damage. We're gonna start missing up here, aren't we? Hold. Okay. You have Berserk, right? Yeah. Okay, almost. Five. Ugh. Okay. This is when I have to think about positioning. So it'll you with the sergeant sash, you have 9 moves, but you have 2 moves. I really want to try to catch the Alps. And I'm also really worried about isolating a particular team. I feel like a team of 6 is safe, but how long is that going to take? Plus, splitting up does have some advantages. We can keep different teams moving versus... And I want to move out of this miasma as much as possible. Pretty sure each of these characters have 5 move. 5 move. So you can move like here. Okay, I'm gonna split my characters up a little bit. You're gonna come here. So you really should come here. You're gonna come up here. But you have a dog with you. Don't want to give up the high ground, actually. What I'm thinking we should do is move you down. Gotta move out of this patch. This patch is very, very problematic for us. But I don't see how we do it. Thank you, puppy. I think we need more puppies. Okay, we can get up to one of the Alps this turn. But we can wait. We'll have to do it right away. Nightmare. Okay, we can get up to one. As soon as you even kill 2 of the Alps, the fight becomes significantly easier. Our turn is done again. Ugh, keep making that mistake. Okay, but got 2 characters up against this elf. That will be a huge help. In fact, let's get out of this miasma. You're not on miasma. Put cover. What did he do? Oh, he spawned 2 shadows over there. I don't think my movement tactics are quite right. I don't think I refined it quite right, but without having more berserk, it seems really hard to move too much. But moving is definitely the key here. Thank you, puppy! Puppy's so strong! Love that puppy. Oh, come on. I might drop a puppy here. Let's hold. This is a lot. Let's wait. The reason is you have Berserk. We're gonna kill you, get our AP back, and start moving up again. Pretty sure all their turns are done. They can't spawn any more nightmares, right? But still, I'm so paranoid. Let's just get out. Not sure we need to release a puppy. Gonna rush up to that Alp. Rushing up to this one. Let's get out of the miasma. I think it's okay to make that move. Your turn is done. I don't want to... I can't seem to get out of this position. I think there's definitely been a mistake positioning there. But we already killed one of the Alps. That already is a huge help. Go, puppy! Yes! Such a good puppy. A little more surround bonus there. Yes. Finally, off that hill. That's good. I think our position here is better. The formation is tighter. We're up against 2 more Alps. Like, as soon as the fight drops from 8 to 5, it makes such a huge difference. Ugh, I don't like the fact that there are so many shadows up there. Alright. I might be able to start moving up this group. We need to clear... let's wait a little bit here. So you can run up and kill one of these shadows. You have the prime opportunity to stabby stab on the Alp. We can move that group out, 95%. I think it's more important to kill the shadows. We're going to kill the Alp next turn. Gonna start moving more characters out. Ooh, almost made a huge mistake there. This formation is not quite right. But we're about to kill 2 more, which should make the fight substantially easier. Up. Maybe. This frees you up. But I'm not even sure if I move to attack the Alp or not. I'm not sure what I do with you. Alright. One over there. Thinking I do get up next to the Alp and start hitting it. That Warbrand is not a good weapon for this fight without the sword mastery. It's too fatigue intensive. Just recover. No reason to move out. Oh, do I not get a final attack there? Okay, I take 1 extra point of damage from that night, or not 1, but like 15 points of damage or whatever. I think I must have made a mistake there somewhere. But at this point, it doesn't matter. There aren't enough Alps left. Oh. 16 points of damage. That's pretty impressive. That miss is not good. Another one bites the dust. So at this point, the formation, I think, starts to matter significantly less. We're still gonna wait. Like, there's no reason to rush ahead here. As soon as you kill even one of the Alps, it helps. And as soon as you kill 2, once we got it down to 6, we've won. So I guess in a way, Alps are easy. If you know, have this type of like naked fight. I don't know. I just, even though like it's not like they're impossible to beat or with the right setup even difficult to beat, I just don't like these fights. Like, I feel like so many things in Battle Brothers is balanced quite well, but this, even though they're like easy, I guess, it's not very satisfying for some reason. Not even sure why. I think it's because the main problem is the risk-reward ratio is off. Like, all the difficulty is front-loaded. If you either like kill 2 of the Alps and you win the battle, or you kill... Oh, are they running? Oh, that's actually really bad for us. I really want their... I don't want them to run. I want their loot. Like, I didn't go to the trouble of fighting 8 Alps to not get loot. Okay, good. Running. So with the right setup, yeah, I guess they're pretty easy. But so my initial assessment was probably off. It also, I think the terrain makes a huge difference. Like, this is one of the fights where, like, normally if you're fighting the swamp or forest or whatever, it's not a big deal. Don't need Pathfinder. I don't think any of that matters. Here, if I was fighting this in a swamp, I would wipe like 100%. Because I would never be able to catch them before fatigue sets in. Maybe not 100% wipe, but there's actually an extremely strong chance. If I were fighting them in the forest, it's also, depending on like how it spawned, unless I had Pathfinder on everybody, which I do not, it would be a big problem. Whereas for other fights, you don't really need Pathfinder, even if it's a forest or whatnot. No! The puppy! Yes, puppy! Good puppy! Now we release more puppies. Because, why not? Well, Swordmaster doing work. I don't understand why people think Swordmasters are not good characters. I think they're one of the best backgrounds in the game, bar none. That melee attack, even if he had no stars, he would have been good for this fight. And quite a few other fights as well. Wow. I really wasn't expecting that to one-shot. Was it a headshot? Probably. I also feel the amount of effort you have to go to gear for Alps is higher in the sense that like having no armor is so helpful here. The extra fatigue makes a big difference. And so if you didn't have enough whoops. See, I didn't even see that. There we go. How fitting that the Swordmaster finishes it off. Took a little bit of damage. What's the really good loot for them? The Petrified Scream. Okay, we didn't get any of that. So I guess we earn our money. But, like, at what cost, right? Now I have to spend type like the setup you have to do for this is just so odd compared to everything else. Like with Hexen, you equip, you know, 2 or 3 clubs. You don't even really need clubs. There are nets, shields. There are all sorts of other ways to deal with them. What you really need are good archers, but you can definitely beat them without good archers to some extent. I suppose if there were like 6 Hexen and 4, like 8 strats or something like that, it would be very hard. It might be impossible without archers. But I haven't even seen that many of those enemies. If it were strats, you just need some axes. Admittedly, if you don't have axes or some way to break their shields, strats are nigh impossible as well. But it's like more of a, you just have to have some way to break their shield. And then ideally you have Indomitable. Melee defense also does something. These fights, you need melee skill, you need fatigue, you need hit points. Resolve is meaningless. Like, I think the difference between 40 resolve and 131 resolve is 6 damage. Like, who cares about 6 damage? So you just need strong melee attack across the board. Yeah, and you can buff that with spears. Berserk dogs are so useful. Like that one dog, even releasing that one dog helped a lot. I guess I could have released a lot more, but you lose your dogs, it kind of cuts into your profit. So I don't know. I just don't think. I think the main problem with the Alp fights is the way they scale, where 10 Alps is not like, or twice as difficult as 5 Alps. 10 Alps is like 25 times as difficult as 5 Alps. It's almost, maybe 25 is a bit of exaggeration, but it's definitely more than twice. It's probably more like 5 times as difficult as 5 Alps. So there is some sort of scaling problem where the number, like 5 Orc Warriors versus 10 is somewhat more linear, but 5 Alps versus, it's almost like you're tripling, right? Because, or doubling. Each Alp summons 2 enemies every turn. So I guess 5 Alps is, or 10 Alps is 4 times as difficult as 5 Alps. That seems about correct. Because you're fighting double the number of enemies. And that is not like intuitive to players. That's the main problem. So I don't know. I still don't like these Alps. It's not like I can't beat them anymore. And even after the first video, I just like realized where my mistakes were in fighting them. But I still think they're terribly overtuned. They need to be nerfed. And these Alps are contributing to too many players. Like, can you imagine reading about this and going on the forums? Like, you fight Alps, you reload it like 5 times, you couldn't figure out how to beat them. Then you go on the forums, you find some videos, and this is what it looks like to beat them. Like, you got naked guys running around with spears and swords, maybe daggers, and you're like, what? As a new player, you're looking at this, it's like, what are these tactics? And I agree with that new player. Like, what are these tactics? I don't even know what I just did in that fight, except that it seemed kind of silly. Anyway, that's enough of ranting for tonight. Thank you for watching. Until next time.